of UCE examinations, which reflect a massive performance. 99.6% of candidates who sat passed. That's a positive. We also condole with families of the two generals of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Major General Francis Takirwa, at his death, he was serving as the Deputy Commander of Land Forces. He passed on this week. Condolences to the family, but also the family of Major General Deus Sande, who at the time of his death served as the division commander of the UPDF Armored Regiment in Masaka. We condole with the UPDF and the families of the departed generals. Like I said, there are other incidents, grisly incidents happening across this country. There are incidents of murder in Mukono. The dean of students at Uganda Christian University was also murdered. She's called Tumwebaze Pamela was found dead in her apartment, and preliminary reports indicate that it was an incident of murder. But also there were other two incidents of murder in Lunguja, Rubaga Division, and the victims included the hotel manager together with the security guard, who were also murdered in cold blood. Those are matters of serious concern, especially after an election, a hotly contested election, when the country should be speaking with the same voice of reconciliation and dialogue. Let's kick off the big show right now, and let me introduce to you Comrade Daniel Rugarama, a scholar but also a Pan-Africanist. He is actually the chairman of the Pan-African movement. Welcome to the show. Speak to our viewers, Comrade Daniel.
Thank you so much, Comrade Apollo, and a very good morning to my brothers here. I use the same opportunity to congratulate my colleague, Council Paulo Muiru. I think it was not an easy fight, but I'm glad that he's back. At least he gives us hope that against so many good legislators who lost, he will have something to infuse in the 12th parliament.
Sure.
It is unfortunate you have been listing a number of deaths. I think there is one journalist, maybe you forgot him.
Yeah.
There was that
Chitone of NBS.
Who perished in the
Road accident.
But just maybe a comment about the double murder here in Runguja, and then there was something to do in some young lady TikToker in Nigeria, and Pamela the director UCU. You see, what I wanted to say there is that whereas NRM has one of its achievements brought relative peace in the country, when you see the reoccurrence of some of these things, you get a little bit worried, because sometimes we don't come to conclusions.
Yeah.
People can die. I'm not saying people can't die. In fact, even the rate of death in stable economies
Actually,
like America.
Let's speak about murders, not just death.
Absolutely. Murders, actually murders, yes. But the culprits are apprehended and the due process of the law takes place. But in some of our cases here, we don't apprehend these suspects at all. And that shouldn't be. And maybe finally, I'm glad that I'm back at this is home, really.
It's home.
I had taken a while.
It's home.
I'm looking forward to
Good.
this debate.
Happy to have you on the show this morning, Comrade Daniel Rugarama. Comrade Otim, Levi, speak to our viewers and perhaps introduce yourself. In a more appropriate manner.
Thank you very much, and a good morning to the viewers. Good morning to
It's a maiden show
TV
here.
Good morning to my brothers here. I can see Paul Mwiru is not the first time I'm meeting him. Always in that August house.
Yeah.
It is a house of policy structures and so on.
Yeah.
To the viewers, I'm called Otim Akonopesa Levi. I am the Vice Chairperson for Global Youth Development Council.
Okay.
That is headquartered in Indonesia.
Okay.
I'm also a member, and I deal with policy analysis for the Continental Policy and Development Forum that is based in Cameroon. It has an arm in Nigeria, and then it also has an arm in Zimbabwe. Some years, I think 2 years back, or should be last year, we had the African Youth Congress in Uganda here. And some of us were participants, also possibly because of having those kind of networks. But back home here, I'm a full-time mobilizer, and then also affiliated to our house.
The NRA.
The Yellow House.
Okay.
So when I meet my brothers here, Honorable Paul Mwiru, because it is about exchanging ideas.
Sure.
We disagree to agree, and not to have a permanent kind of, because politics comes and goes, but we remain as brothers. So that is me in brief. This is my maiden show. This is the first time I'm appearing on Salt TV.
Yeah.
So I believe that we shall have constructive
engagement.
Thank
you so much, and we welcome you to the dialogue.
Thank you very much.
Paul Mwiru is the member of the opposition National Unity Platform, but also the incoming member of Parliament for Jinja South East. Oh yes, congratulations once again. Comrade Rugarama said it must not have been easy to bounce back, and especially with the hurdles and constraints and limitations we witnessed during elections.
Well, thank you. Good morning, viewers and listeners. My condolences to the bereaved families.
Yeah, true.
We have talked about many. I had the benefit of working with the General Takirwa the late in the 10th Parliament. He was an army representative. He was a moderate and quiet gentleman.
A listening post indeed.
Yeah.
But interestingly, these officers, some of them, you can have the full, when they're in committees.
Yeah, in committees he was
in
very
the committees,
active.
They contribute because they don't fear any repercussion of any. There will be no repercussions for participating in the committee than on the floor, where you are monitored and seen. Actually, interestingly, I worked with several representatives on the committees of Parliament, and they were very interesting people. Like we had, I think now she's Kano Sarah Mpabwa.
Yeah.
She was thorough when she was in Park. We had General Coretta. We had worked with that one. I think the condolences to the family.
Takirwa was on COSASE something. It was an accountability committee.
Yes, by then, and it was okay. I didn't have a benefit of interacting with General Sande, so I will not say much. I will only condolences. Of course, I have been. Their question is of how did we reach where we have been. My brother here talked about like when there's no problem you being NRM. Just like there should be no problem me being NOP. More so like in my area, when we go to campaign, those they don't count. Because we don't have issues between NRM and opposition. All the issues have come when the military has taken over the electoral process and subduing people. But as people belonging to various political parties, for me, I find no problem with actually that. And I would want to thank colleagues who have congratulated me. You know, the people would say, you know, you meet local people because of the impunity which has been taking place in tally centers. People don't even say, because for having gone through an election, they said in Uganda, Kulika tally center. You understand? It's a narrative which they have conjured. And it fits into what is happening because it was
tally
different.
centers had turned
No, actually, tally centers were zapping the will of the people. We have over, I think, 15 MPs of National Unity Platform who won. They have the data form, they carry someone else. You understand?
Yeah.
And that alone now also creates now a different dynamic because in that way, one would blame the Electoral Commission. But the Electoral Commission managed the electoral processes so well up to the time now of the voting and the tallying. The Baganda say, Akato Kafamagoba. You understand? But, and even these issues which come about, people don't normally pay attention that the Wananchi have no issues. It is rare to find that you have a problem with a new person. But those who want to do wrong, who try to fix the army and all the police or with the security apparatus with the electoral process. Once it takes, that's why they are issue. Because why they not declare people? If you go listen to the candidates who have the other forms, it is no deal. And now where it is shocks now, like some woman was asking me that now people went to school who are lawyers. The same electoral commission gives a data form to Rugarama, signed by agents. They give another form to doctor, signed by having different results. When they were falsifying. So what does this mean for our country? Mean that even amongst the people, beyond just fighting for a seat, a position, other people look at the bigger picture. That is this how far we have gone. And this takes me to the homicides, the killings you are talking about. As a criminologist, when you look at it, there is a book of Crime and Deviance by Timamanya Mushenga. He writes about all this criminality. And if we are minding so much about what we do as a country, instead of putting up very many places of incarceration, those ungazetted, they will be looking at studying the crime, the pattern of crime, and then seeing how do we curb into. Because if you do the way they do, because if it was an opposition rally or anything, the security would be there. But when it comes to real lives, because we have lost lives, like we lost the dawn.
True.
Out of jokes. In countries like Haiti, that homicide is at 48% out of every 100.
Haiti is
they
a
have
failed
skyrocketed
state.
To that extent, if you go on Google. There are countries where homicides are not controlled. They started as a joke and they don't address the root cause of all this. Now it is like the end of the day.
Yeah, but Comrade Muiru, for Uganda's sake, these murders or homicides come as in form of spikes. You remember the murders in Entebbe of women and women. In Entebbe. Then the Bijambia cases in Masaka. And this time round, it comes as a spike.
No, it doesn't come as a spike. Now, you see, police say...
The only concern is what Rugarama raised.
No, it's not a spike. I don't agree with that. Because you see, police normally say they have started the investigation. If they are producing reports, would correct the pattern and say this what has caused it. Because that's why the criminologists would pay attention to detail. You understand? Because for me, even I also have a thinking that whereas some homicides are caused because of that, There are also those who take the law into their hands. Once the justice system breaks down, there are people who will also do, because there are many which they have.
So you're attributing it to a failure or a breakdown in the justice
in some
system.
instance in the justice system. Because if someone know that if I kill Logarama, God forbid, the repercussion is this. You understand?
Yeah.
That's why the law in some acts as a deterrent.
Okay.
You understand what actually happens in this case. So we need to think beyond the politicking we always do, to allowing the technical people pay attention to detail and develop. And there's a disparity between, even if research was done and the direction was suggested by the technical people, the money will not go there. You understand?
Yeah.
The funding.
Actually, if you can,
the funding will go into something else.
If you
which
can,
is temporary.
If you can tell us what you think could be the problem with the investigative agencies, because we speak about a professional police. I don't know the side of funding you're talking about, whether they are really funded to do thorough investigations. Where could be the problem?
They are not funded to do thorough work. Police used to have the special branch in the police. It do a lot of training, and by the time they will come to arrest you, Apollo, they would have done a thorough investigation and they will secure a conviction. When you look at the rate, the cases, the big backlog, because they just arrest and then put you there. You understand?
You're speaking about this
political related.
No, not necessarily political related. You see, for instance, there is a policy at DPP. There's a time when they can then they just take them to court. They will sort it themselves there. Like as politicians, we normally pass at police stations. Because the people, they can only do now, because of the crime rate you're talking about. They normally, in my place, this week, they stabbed someone, this gang.
Yeah.
Then also some panga guys also cut someone. So the police is forced to do an operation. They would just pick whoever, they would just pick people.
Random.
Now when they pick people, they are now confronted with the law of Ida and disorder. The president said that law now is no longer applicable. It was outlawed. You don't want people like that. Now they have many in the cells. And what has also now helped, which is also illegal, is police. They have ever killed the staff of court in Jinja when they were trying to get a phone, the gang. Whoever they arrest, they put on that file. Because they say Uganda versus Muripo and others still at large.
So you become the others.
So whoever they put on the still at large, so that it is a murder case, the one is they get bail. And you see, it is what has tried to cause the relief.
So you fault the judicial system for this unconcluded.
Not necessarily judicial system, the justice system.
The justice system.
Not necessarily judicial system, because the justice system starts with the police.
Oh yeah.
Because you see, if we know that our problem is the crime rate, because then interesting, these people like the gangs, they attack anybody.
Yeah.
They cannot say, are you any RM? We don't attack you.
They don't even care.
They don't care whom they're attacking. Meaning that we must have consensus when it comes now to criminality. That we must all agree to fight criminality. How do we prioritize the funding for criminality?
I'm coming to. Do you find a correlation between this, may I call it a spike of murders, with the discontent in the public after this hotly contested election?
That one has nothing to do. That is, I don't want to say it has correlation with that. This has something to do with the crime as crime in society. And we try to build when we were in the 9th, 10th Parliament, we try to support the government and it collapse. Those support. Because you see, now we can you can see when someone has stabbed someone, but the way you hold the chain of evidence, you understand.
Yeah, it matters.
It matters. And the serious lawyers would raise up and challenge the way the chain of evidence was handled, and you lose the case. You understand? Meaning that if we must strengthen our investigative arms, and also the judicial arm on the other hand. Because what I've seen, like in my area, which has also quite to create a relief, because these gangs are known. Like when they attacked someone in Jinja, there's a boy they attacked. They attacked around the church. People knew the people were attacking, but they know it's a gang. But some people even fear to come and testify. They say, I can't go and testify. Those guys will actually come for me. And they are known. That's why what has created the relief is that illegality I've seen, where they just arrest Muiru and put on the file of others still at large.
Okay. Levi, just a comment on this, may I call it a spike or a wave of crime, and looks like it's a matter of serious concern.
Yes, you see, when we to look at insecurity, we should be able to tackle it from the core. We have had scenarios, if I'm to take us back to the times that the former IGP, Kale Kaihura, was still in charge. You get to understand that the country at that point had a lot of insecurity. Even when he had tried to really institute police in all capacities, we also had some remedy, the creation of crime preventers that as well were presumed to be the initiators of crime instead of preventing crime. So this is something that has really been a big bother to, rather big burden to government, and I believe that through structure, kind of reforms, we can have a proper remedy. You can see that there's been some improvement, rather progress, in how we handle issues of security. We used not to have CCTV cameras, but sometimes you find
but
that
the question has been, are
now
these CCTV cameras utilized,
CCTV
optimally utilized to
CCTV
curb
cameras are utilized, but the problem is that we still have certain hotspots that don't have access to these CCTV cameras. And then two, the pathways. How is our security, or how our security agencies handling some of these, communities? You get to understand that, if, for example, if I come from Namgongo, there are certain hotspots that you can't pass at a specific time, because the information within the community, including some of the police stations you go to, will tell you that that place is a hotspot.
Yeah.
And you have seen that you wake up one morning, we have a general manager of a petrol station that has been murdered. I think was jogging. We had we still have issues. If I am now to begin pinpointing some of these, along, I think, Nalia Runabout, we also have a bit of that stretch. You can't stop past 9 p.m. You just can't stop anyhow, because you might find a block or a paver landing on you. We also have Lugogo bypass, those traffic lights. So, I believe that it is a collective responsibility. In order for us to avoid the spike of these crimes and murders, there are certain enforcements that we really have to put in place. We had the patrolling. But you see, having patrols and then the guns does not stop crime. We have to make enforcements in our community, policing. We have to put
Community policing.
Yeah, community policing. We have to put a lot of emphasis on the CLOs, so that is the community license officers, that you have a education to handle. What are some of the methods that what are methods that you have come up with? These people should be tasked.
Yeah, but
there should be.
Comrade Levy,
Yes.
we are talking about these homicides where investigations kick off, but they are not taken to their logical conclusion, and that leaves a huge and big concern in communities.
No, I think that comes back to our judicial system. And with judicial system, you understand that most of these cases, criminal cases, have always had a backlog. You find that the case is stretching for 10 years, someone is on remand, even if he's sentenced, then you see he's already served 10 years. So the judicial system...
Not the investigation process?
Yeah, you see, also with the investigation, there are certain things I really don't want to touch because they can easily attach it or affiliate it to you that you see you mentioned this. But if I am to really go hard, there is a bit of laxity in our investigation systems. And if you're to see during the times of the former commander, this Afande Akulo, CID had a very strong enforcement of having collective agencies, security agencies, try and formulate go in for some of these, operations. When you are doing investigation, you would see.
But under her
security apparatus. Yes,
during her tenure, that's when we had very many, unsolved murders.
Yes, and you also imagine that during her time is when they brought in that rapid. There was this rapid squad. There was this squad that was commanded by one of, I think, is also a victim in one
Mohanji.
Yes. So there was a squad that was created to respond to certain acts of robbery that would rather lead to this, criminal, cases. But if we were to go back, I really blame the spike of crimes on also rather unemployment. If you were to really do your own, studies, there was a time when we interacted with I think it was a section, I don't want to attach them to Honorable Paul Mwiru, but I think these are young people that wanted to have the feeling of having, societal or rather community engagement. So when I interacted with that group, it was absorbed by ISO. It was absorbed by ISO, and then they had to go for, I think, a 6 months, training, refresher course, so that they can be put into community policing. Now, that group is one group that, if you were to interact with them, there are people who have lost hope. And they don't care. Just like they say that you can be killed for 1,000, 2,000 shillings. And he knows that 1,000 shillings is going to feed him, and the other 1,000 is possibly for him to buy his medicine, the medicine.
So you're bringing the also, aspect of unemployment, and
also have to consider the aspect of unemployment. That this could be possibly one of the issues that is driving these people because of the hardships of life.
Okay.
That is driving them towards committing crimes, and then you see the spike. Because now you see the dean of UCU, they did not take anything.
Yeah.
I think it was only the phone, I don't know. But the laptop. She was killed. Then this girl of the one who was strangled.
The TikToker.
The TikToker. There was nothing. But you see, these people monitor all your activities. Doesn't mean I'm saying that there should be an enforcement within the policing that change the strategy. It's not about patrols and guns.
Okay.
You don't go there and want to shoot people. But what are you doing? Get involved, get engaged within the society, understand the challenges that these people face. Okay. And that is how we're able to spoon out these criminals, and then the laws of Uganda can handle them. As simple as that.
And Comrade Garam, as you come in, aren't these incidents undermining the security, which has been a key message during the campaigns of your candidate?
One of the NRM's achievements that it has been talked about and has been promoted, and it has marketed the National Resistance Movement for many years, has been restoration and promotion of security. The security at the following fronts, that we had some parts of Uganda which were essentially not directly in the hands of the government, like the northern part, and the far east. When you look at the Karamoja region, the Acholi sub-region, and that they were ultimately brought under the effective control of government. And we say NRM achieved that, and the people who were directly affected are now, for a number of years, have been enjoying the peace and the development that they were supposed to achieve. Now, the reason as to why you said spike, it was against certain tenets. And I would want to agree with you.
Honorable Mwiru doesn't believe.
No, I will go to
these are-
Mwiru's. I will go to Mwiru's. Of course, Mwiru as a lawyer, there is also where he's coming from, and I will touch a bit of that. I know how my colleagues behave. So, you calling it a spike is right to the extent that in majority urban centers, and Kampala as an example, there hasn't been that consistent, sustained
pattern
of crime that surely the population, general population, can talk about. We only remember, for instance, like Entebbe women murders. You find a woman, they have passed a stick through her private parts in Nansana. Then you come to, there was a wave around when our brother Felix Kawesi, this Mama Fina's husband. You see, those are probably why you say no. Why then it would stop? But what Mwiru is saying could be against the background that, look, my colleague, our colleague Jude Yabukama, is a lawyer. When he was applying for bail for our sister, Sarah Bilete, he complained about the pre-trial detentions, that lag, that it is too much, and around that, and that's what Mwiru was talking about, that when you look at the amount of the so many suspects that are sent to court Java Sutinga. In a majority of the cases, the state is not ready. The prosecution is simply not ready.
The investigations are not done.
Even the investigations are not there. And you wonder why. That bothers me. That's why I actually greatly associate myself. I join issues with the Mwiru, because you ask yourself, even when the police has reformed itself, created certain departments like crime intelligence. That crime intelligence is a fully-fledged department which is supposed to ensure that
they even have a forensic department.
Yes, all those, that the commission of crime is prevented at the formation. You wonder yourself, you wonder why we have got increasing patterns of criminality.
Why?
Yes, and that the rate of investigation is failing. The other aspect is, of course, continuously, the hotspots that have been talked about. Around Arua Park, there will always be those boys. You wonder why the numbers keep growing. You go to certain centers like Chisenyi, you go to, he was talking about our place in Mgongo, you go to those areas. During the time of Felix Kawesi as the Kampala Metropolitan, I think, something like that. Yes. Or he was a director, Kampala, something like that. He used to go without announcing and check on those posts. You remember, like around Express, there are posts there. The police are supposed to be doing patrol. And he would find the thing closed. He would say, who was supposed to be there, and he arrested so many of their colleagues.
So doesn't that signal to a breakdown in the policing system?
There is also the element of funding. We are saying that the funding may be also corruption, because sometimes actually the money comes. When it comes, the bosses do not distribute it to it is supposed to go. So there is demoralization. People who are supposed to do the job are demoralized. The ones who are supposed to go on a foot patrol, they don't do it. But there is a question here which we should ask ourselves. When NRM in the 1986, 87, up to 90-something, the unemployment which we were using as one of the reasons as to why the criminality is the levels of crime are increasing, was at what percentage? People were not as so much economically vibrant as they are now. Probably you can argue that the population has increased, but there was what we call community awareness. We were all, should I say, we were neighbors keeper. What has happened now?
Okay, that's an element of community policing.
Yes. Now, even when we say that the current police is actually community police, what does it mean when we have got increased rates of crime, which was not the case in the mid-1980s to the 90s? And in my opinion, therefore, I think that there is a way people have resigned. You know, the state, when the people supposed to do their work, resign to certain fate, certain situation, to say, I see money not coming to where it is supposed to come, and I have got no reason why I should be doing this patriotic, so-called patriotic, when others are feeding their stomachs. That's why you have the 10 trillion corruption report that was per year, that was given by our former IGG. In a manner of speaking, therefore, whereas we credit NRM for restoration of peace and then the security, there are certain pockets of insecurity, especially in urban centers, which I think if we went back to the very basics of making sure that we close the gaps of corruption, we would be able to restore absolute peace and security.
Comrade Mwiru, as we conclude on this matter, like Comrade Ugrama said, there are gaps in the system. Is it possible that these gaps can be closed and then we enjoy absolute security? Because looks like this kind of crime affects everyone, not a particular group of people affiliated to such a political party. It's random. It's a national concern.
You see, there are things which we need to. First, I say it is possible if we pay attention there. But even when my colleague tried to say, these people have tried to provide security, they are providing personal security. If you meet in town,
not national security.
Every minister is having a ready car, another escorting car. Okay, one minister is moving over 16 police officers. The composition of a district police stations in the villages. There are 18. There are only 80 police officers. To say there is a police post, the district is 15. So you just take it from me that the ministers are moving with the district police going to the station the way they're supposed to be. in those villages.
Isn't that VIP protection, which is
Protection from who?
everywhere?
Protection from who? So who protects you? Because you also have a need to be protected.
I'm not a
It's
VIP.
not important.
I'm not a VIP.
No, even most of these people, if you are to assess, they have no threat. They have no threat. You understand? Meaning that we need to get back to provide national security. And what happens I give an example, Botswana. You know, when you talk, somebody say maybe Anamwero doesn't, because opposition doesn't want these people. If you go to Botswana, when they say that doctor is entitled to security, they don't mean a gun to move with you. That's why there were government pool houses. They would secure areas and put up houses and say this is where permanent secretary stay. So you need like 10 police officers to secure a residency of permanent secretaries. And those places, they haven't controlled the jam because they have buses they use to go to their workplaces where they put them, and they are followed. Or even if they are driving, at least you'll be sure that but if you go, do you know that these officers, they have almost 4 police officers guarding their homes on top of the 16 they are moving with. So one person is moving with 20. 2 per night, 2 day, 2 night.
So what is called national security is personal security
they are providing.
according to?
No, according to what it is. It can't be according to me. I don't know whether, I don't know what doctor says. According to what it is.
But
No, we need to do more. We need to
Honorable Miri,
you
you
can't
didn't.
admit it to me. It's what it is.
Honorable Miri, you didn't talk about the declining levels of community policing. We used to have neighborhood watch and I think General Kaihura
No,
has
even
started
it
off.
exists. Even I've just come
Doesn't
from...
exist today.
No, you see...
Or it doesn't work
No,
anyway.
let me tell you. It is because, you see, police as crime intelligence attached at every police post. They are thin. You can go like in my area, I can give an example. Warukwa as a police post has one side. And now, me, I can also claim to be a side of my own with my intelligence and counterintelligence. Would know who all those young people, would know those groups, would know who are the wrong guys. And I kept on inviting them and talking to them. And one actual of the duty I have is to how to get them out of, because you need to know how they get to there. Because these are young boys. And some young girls, the way we have been actually engaging. That's why I told you that what the police now has been resorting to, that they just cut out a soup, then do screening. If you go to the police station, I think that's what they're doing every morning, that we are screening.
They conduct a swoop and then screen later police stations.
Screening. But the question
when
is,
these kids have spent like 3 or 4 nights in...
repeat offenders, according to statistics, rate of repeat offenders is on the increase.
And do you know what is happening? Where the police leadership is not strong, now it is a business.
What?
Yes.
Where the police leadership is not strong, I can speak for my area. The stronger RPC and DPC. You understand? And actually, even the
You're
operations.
saying these who are rounded up are released after paying money. That's what you call
This what is
business.
happening in the entire...
No, it's there.
There's a-
This what is happening.
There's a case scenario. Is it 2 days ago? One young man was complaining. His vehicle was vandalized. They removed the digital number plates. He went.
I saw that. I saw
and the criminals, the thieves, wrote a phone number. So when the young man went to URA, the issue was that you might get those plates within 4 or 5 months. That is too long, and they are very expensive.
Said, but the
No,
vehicles
it happened with me. You know, they took mine, they come out, and then when I called it, they leave a number. So I called. Of course, I talked to them in their language. And I told them, I called the one. Now then I told them, I'm Mweru. And I said, oh, Muzei. Sorry, it was an operation. Then I told them, I know this is my number. Now we have been charging 300. But since for you also some will fight for our rights, for you will make 100. You make 100. I had 100.
That's the level where we are.
Yes.
I make 100. Now, of course, I wanted to leave. I didn't want to move without a number plate. So what happens? So they say, send on that number. I go to police. I complain. Then police tell me, you not manage those people. If you are going very fast, just send.
That is police.
Of course, I was offended. So I tried to make some calls. Then some told me, but no, you want to go. But
so is that what you're saying, that crime has become business?
No. That's one leg. You understand? But I was talking about then I was let me tell you the story. So now I send 100. Then they tell me that you look at your compound. You see where there is a tree? There's a Maputeka tree. Check it there. They put the number in the Cavera.
Oh.
Now they give me
They
one.
would have dropped it now.
No, they are given. No, they put them there. They don't still and go with them. They leave them in that area. Then I said, but I've got one. They said no. For you switched off phone when we were still talking. And meant kumi. For you had kumi, then you switched off. But I was still saying, and I said another kumi.
But
then they say,
you remember something.
then they say now the second one, send 100. Because I was pissed off. So I said, should I go back again to police? He said they cannot help me.
But they have already confessed they won't help you.
So when I said now, then they said me where another one was. But the other crime which I'm saying, because of the way they are now, there are areas where they did the also operations, carry out operations, arrest people, put them at a police station. The DPC is not aware, the other PC is not aware. They find a way of getting money out of them. You understand? Now
they release them.
They release them
back.
Now in some places, they have now created a rapport. These boys now with security. That when they also get something,
Baba Temer.
they also give it to them.
They call it
So
we
you
are
can
going
go
back
at a
to
level
the days
now.
of Chirumira, because
Yeah,
Chirumira.
now,
And
yes.
the Sobis.
Yeah,
Chirumira
the
was
Sobis.
fighting that. That's
Yeah,
what
Chirumira
Chirumira was
was
saying
fighting.
that. You remember that? And then the Sobi.
We
Now-
need
now
to
you
go
reach
for
a
a break.
level.
Gentlemen, we need to go for a break, but when we return, we look at other serious matters of national importance. We condole again with the families of the bereaved, and we pray their souls rest in peace. We also implore the authorities to do their best to fill the gaps to ensure that security is guaranteed for each and every citizen of this country. My name is Prince Apollo. Let's go for a break, but when we return, we'll need to see your feedback. Send in your comments and observations. Tell us what you think about these important matters we are discussing. We go for a break. We return after this short while. Don't go away.
Soul Television, Femunyo. Kampala was the genesis, taking over the city and the outskirts on 107. Now covering the whole nation and beyond. Bududa, Palisa, Budadiri, Budaka, Mbale, Sironko, Busia, Tororo, Bukedea, Butaleja, Chibuga, Chankwanzi, Mitiana, Mubende, Chiwale, Chinjojo, Chegekwa, Chiruhura, Zimbabwe, Raka, Gomba, Yantunde, Masaka, Kalungu, Luengo, Utambala, Bukoma Nsimbi, Kagadi, Mbarara, Jinja, Bunyangabu, Toroko, Bundibujo, Kasese, Kamwenge, Chitagwenda, Burahia, Rengoma, Karambi, Mukusu. Anywhere in Uganda, Soul FM got you covered. 107 Kampala, 97.5 Mubende, 102.6 Mbale, 95 Mbarara, 98.2 Jinja, 90.3 Potpoto. Advertise with us and make your business known to every Ugandan and the rest of the world.
Mukyala.
Wanje daddy.
Okimanyi abaana batuuse okudda ku masomero naye ssente zibuze. Kakati ky'oba okola twalayo ekitundu kya fees ku ssomero lya junior. Eza van tunaazisasula oluvannyuma.
Naye daddy, lwaki tetusasula nga tukozesa momo? Etuwa n'omukisa oguwangula school fees za mwaka mulamba bweddu n'okusingawo. Ate nno mwattu osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo. Mpozi n'ekirala essomero erikozesa momo lisobola okwewangulira van.
Ekyo kyennyini wangula school fees wa mwaka mulamba n'okusingawo. Ate nga n'amasomero agakozesa momo galina omukisa okuwangula vaani ko n'ebirabo ebirala kumu. Osobola n'okufuna looni ya school fees ku momo. Nyiga star *165 star 8 noti hashi oba kozesa momo app.
The temperature of the water that I drink does not really count for hydration. Many times, whether it's cold or hot or warm, all contribute to hydration. However, the temperature improves comfort. So during a hot season, I'd rather take cold water because that gives me a more refreshed feeling. While if I'm having a meal, warm water is better for digestion. So choose the temperature of water that makes you drink water consistently.
Onoonye entandikwa y'omwana weesingawo mu by'okusoma. Tukwaniriza ku White Angels Day and Boarding Nursery and Primary School, Bulenga Campus. Tusangibwa Kikaaya, Bulenga, nga wakava ku Mityana Road. Tusomesa abaana mu mitendera egy'enjawulo egibafuula abakugu mu kibiina nga kw'otadde n'ebyemizannyo, ebyemikono awamu n'empisa. Abasomesa baffe batendeke ddala era nga basomesa n'obukugu obw'enjawulo ekiyamba omwana w'okufuna obusobozi okuyita ku mitendera gyonna. Kino kitufudde abamu ku abo abakyasinze okuwangalira waggulu mu bigezo by'eggwanga mwaka ku mwaka. Tulina classrooms ne libraries z'omulembe gwa digito nga kw'otadde n'eddoomu entegeke obulungi ez'abaana baffe abasula ku ssomero. Entambula y'abo abasula ewala weeri era ng'etuuka buli wamu ate nga ne school fees zaffe tezikalubiriza bazadde. Tuwa omwana w'omusingi ogwannamaddala ogumusobozesa okufuuka omuwanguzi ate nga wabuvunaanyizibwa mu biseera eby'omu maaso. White Angels Day and Boarding Nursery and Primary School. With God, nothing is impossible.
This weekend.
Glory be to the Lord in the highest. Hallelujah. Everybody sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Everybody sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Glory be to the Lord in the highest. Hallelujah. Glory be to the Lord in the highest. Hallelujah.
Ngomo ya tuse wabera okuona Ngomo ya tuse wabera okuona Ngomo ya tuse wabera wenjaulo Ngomo ya tuse.
So you received salvation through faith. Not that some people say, nze nalokolebwa pastor wange, tata wange, mama. You received salvation through faith.
Kampala was the genesis, taking over the city and the outskirts on 107. Now covering the whole nation and beyond. Bududa, Palisa, Budadi, Budaka, Mbale, Sirongo, Busia, Tororo, Bukedea, Butaleja, Chibuga, Chankwanzi, Mitiana, Mubende, Chiwale, Chinjojo, Chegegwa, Chiruhura, Zimbabwe, Raka, Gomba, Yantunde, Masaka, Kalungu, Luengo, Utambala, Bukomansimbi, Kagadi, Mbarara, Chinja, Bunyangabu, Toroko, Bundibujo, Kasese, Kamwenge, Chitagwenda, Burahia, Rengoma, Karambi, Mukuso. Anywhere in Uganda, Soul FM got you covered. 107 Kampala, 97.5 Mubende, 102.6 Mbale, 95 Mbarara, 98.2 Jinja, 90.3 Fort Advertise with us and make your business known to every Ugandan and the rest of the world. Soul Television, Femunyo.
Welcome from the break. This is the Dialogue on Soul TV. My name is Prince Apollo. We reflect on matters of national importance, especially events that stood out within the week. On the show this morning, we have comrade Daniel Garama, a scholar and a Pan-Africanist, joined by comrade Levi Akomopesa. He's an NRA mobilizer, but also we have Honorable Paul Mwiru.
When you introduce me like that, also we have that.
Yes.
To counter this one.
Honorable Paul Mwiru is the incoming member of parliament for Jinja South East.
Yes.
And we're looking at this time, let's go straight to the missive that was written by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, His Excellency, the President, this week. And in his missive, the President addressed several issues relating to the election, congratulating Ugandans upon a peaceful election, but also he called on opposition and the political leaders across the divide to avoid inflammatory rhetoric, but also go for principled reconciliation. I'll pick on several issues he raised. The President attributed the low turnout among some NRM supporters to what he described as self-seeking political actors on both the ruling party and the opposition sides, arguing that their conduct discouraged participation. On the opposition, President Museveni accused the opposition groups of using intimidation and violence to suppress voter participation, citing past incidents of election-related violence. Okay, let me pick another one here. Mr. Museveni said security agencies working with communities prevented large-scale disruption during the 2026 polls, but warned that some individuals were still hatching schemes, including criminal foreigners working as mercenaries. Okay? And he said these cases linked to election-related violence would be prosecuted. Okay? He called on political leaders, to reconciliation. I think we can now kick off from there. Let me see if I can. He called on opposition leaders and their supporters to pursue principled reconciliation. Yes, I think that is the main issue. But it comes at a time when we are witnessing some moves from opposition. We can relate to that incident in the State House when a group of opposition actors met President Museveni, and they claim these efforts are geared at constructing dialogue and reconciliation within the different opposition political groups. Let me start with you of these events happening across the political landscape, especially as President Museveni speaks reconciliation in his own words, but then we see opposition groups also meeting him in State House. Are we now going for full brass dialogue, national dialogue? What do you make of this?
Thank you. I think, let me first say, of course, President Museveni has a dagger in his hand for reasons which I'm going to say. First, this was an election which never was.
An election which never was?
Yes, for reasons that, one, the militarization of the election. The election was supposed to be conducted by the Electoral Commission.
Sure.
But it was largely conducted by the military. And I don't want to go, everybody saw what actually happened. By and large, the other issue is the vote of no confidence in the process by the Wananchi. I can just give an example from my constituency. There are 700,000 voters. It's only 13 who participated.
13,000?
13,000. 25 did not.
That's low turnout.
That's about what percentage?
Actually,
less than half.
It is really,
yes.
By far.
By far.
By far.
You understand? Almost 20. It's around 28 or 29% who turned up to vote.
Doesn't even go 30%.
The majority did not. So I cannot hear just thumping. Say, because you see the question is, this worries me as a leader. And so why are people not participating in this process? The other one is there was the falsification of results, which was mad most of these constituencies. Because we have the Electoral Commission provided the other forms, the cash on results form for each candidate. But what was shocking is that those who connive with the Electoral Commission supervisors, they would swap the data form, those which maybe they were stolen in the morning from a polling station, and then they would subvert the will of the people by announcing people who have not won. That's why that narrative of Kurikatari Center comes about. That shows you still that the will of the people is still subverted. Then lastly, in the interest of time, this election thuggery cannot be done perfectly. I'll give an example. We rejected the results of the presidential election for reasons which were just very simple, that we participated. Despite some of our agents being arrested, even up to now, some were getting bail, some the way they did. We said, fine, we collected some declaration of results forms, substantial of them. Section 56 of the Presidential Elections Act requires the Electoral Commission to transmit results. As the returning officers transmit to center, they're supposed to transmit to political parties. That is the law. And it's 57, it requires the chairman of the Electoral Commission to print the tally sheet of results together with the dedication of results form and give to those who have participated. The input is simple. The law gives us 10 days. We need to agree whether we challenge the results or not. We asked for that tally sheet, they did not give. All we wanted was to look at whether what has been tallied corresponds with our dedication of results form.
That's why you refer to the process as an election that was never.
Yes, because the law says what happens to a process. Because even now, remember they asked Yabakam in Nikololo, yes, Yabakam, that you have said that has got 3 million, the other 500, the other now 4, but you are not. The law doesn't say that that's what you do. The law says you tally, and you keep on reading the results. So by evening it will have changed. That was not the question. You will say another question and answering it. That's why even our premise is simple. The tally sheet. You see, even when you talk about reconciliation or even dialogue, it would come if they had given us the results. We had compared with the other forms. Then we came to a conclusion that actually it is true. These are the results as they were announced. Then you would tell us That now that Mr. Museveni has won, would even send a congratulatory message. Do you know why it was simple? Like in my area, where I contested. Because I won, the NRM candidate called him to congratulate him. You understand? And I have a duty also now on my part to reciprocate the same way of magnanimity to him. Because he's got the result, he showed what I got, then he said, you know what? Congratulations. And that's why even on my part, when there were issues of misbehavior by our supporters, I reached out to him. And I said, I've heard ABC has happened. How do we settle it for the good of the community? It is
so Honorable Mwira, you're saying the events that played out during the election period doesn't or cannot pave way for principle reconciliation.
They can't pave way for that. Because for me, I've told you, let me just be very clear. During the process, there were some skirmishes which happened in the process. But immediately, then NRM candidate called me and said, congratulations. Now the onus was on me. I had to reach out to him and he said, I hear our boys somehow misbehaved. Because no, the way these abuse they can be. Then he told me that in the process of fighting, there's some of us took even someone was the phone. I said, is that possible? When I told my people that since he has reached out to us, let us even buy the phone. We don't even investigate whether it was true or not true. You understand?
I understand.
That's the spirit.
Honorable Mwiru,
but now, you have cheated me.
With this anguish in the society, in the community, in the society, if we don't speak reconciliation, what should we speak?
No, you're reconciling what? Because the issue is that first the process it was hijacked by the military. You saw even our people are still in prison. As I talk now here, 3 of my vice presidents are in prison. All our supporters are in prison. You have seen, and the person has been saying, it's not me who releases the people. They don't take this course. That time, the other person was telling us the fires were against Kadaga, against the Mabat people. The person interviewed and then they are not charged. If the spirit is reconciliation, the starting point would be that we have made mistakes, all of us. Then the prisoners of conscience, or political prisoners who are there, they would be released. You understand? Once you release them and say, okay, we have made a mistake. Because when me...
Isn't that the same process your colleagues, Honorable Simambe and others are pursuing?
Where?
In State House.
You see, let me tell you, as a lawyer, I will tell you, the Constitution has a whole chapter on human rights. It puts a duty on the state, organs of the state, and all of us to ensure that the enjoyment of those rights. You understand? But also, too, and most important, dialogue. This country was formed by 15 nation states, which was Buganda, Bosoga, Ankole. If you go to Gate of Parliament, you find them there. There are stakeholders, people who would say that so and so would go to give a position of the other of those people. The idea of dialogue per se is not a bad idea, because when as we talk now, we have structured organs of the country where we are dialoguing. IPOD, national, those organs are there. But because President Museveni knows that he does not mean what he says on those, he doesn't want to, he does not deliver what actually is pledging on. What they're engaging on has no guarantor.
Okay.
There's no guarantor. That's why, to me, it is more of a process of getting jobs in a government. I've seen someone has won, they have got to try their luck. And I wish them
It's
well.
not about reconciliation.
It's not about their issues. Like as we are here in the studio, it was incumbent all the three that the debate as sanity, as decorum. You understand? But if my brother Levi wanted to behave the NRM style in the studio,
the NRM style,
yes, and also wanted to behave maybe the opposition style, and not listening to each other, there would be chaos here.
Yes.
But once we walked in, we put it in ourselves.
Yeah.
That there must be decorum.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's what is lacking.
And simply because, you know, who comes for equity must come with clean hands.
Yes.
Someone has blood. He has taught our people in Nyankole. They are still even in prison. Others have been killed. Others are incarcerated. They say, please, you come, we actually dialogue.
You think it is impossible. Let me hear from you.
He has no clearance to call us. If there was actually a dialogue today and they said, okay, we have agreed, Levy is the one going to do the mediation. Rugarama is the guarantor of what we are going in. What are the issues? We would agree on them. Because even you had the president himself, on what took place in the electoral process, nobody likes it. Because if even me, there were any other people who are, because the election now came to be, as the president said, some people on the other side. There are some NRM people who did not have money, but the independent side who had lost money.
Yes.
So those are using money to cheat the NRM person who was also there. Now the question comes, is that the country which you want to lead?
Exactly.
If it is not, then we must agree that there must be bare minimums, which we cannot even discuss, like human rights.
Okay.
You can't discuss human rights.
We'll get to that, Honorable Mwiru. Levy, with what Honorable Mwiru has clearly spelled out, the disagreements, the anguish, the in-house, even within NRM, people are very bitter after this election. And looking at the events as they play out, the meetings in the State House, the president coming out to indicate that he's in for reconciliation. Is it time to reconcile?
Reconciliation, first of all, is not a weakness for any mature nation. And I've listened keenly to my brother, Honorable Paul Mwiru. And you listen that even when they are loggerheads, when they are loggerheads possibly with the head of state, he has always interacted with the people that are affiliated to NRM. There's been that effort, even when they are competing for the elective position of Member of Parliament for Ginger East. He's been having that kind of concession between him and the NRM candidate. To me, that is mature politics. And of course, it brings you back to the point that Uganda has reached a point where we have to eliminate politics that is not going to build us as a nation. And if you are to keenly take concern, our very own neighbors, Kenya, they have always had the rift of political engagements. And it spans back to the times of Arap Moi. When Arap Moi was still leader, he always had his own, weaknesses, possibly as far as governance is concerned. And I remember when he eventually said he's stepping down as president, and he had to make that speech of forgiveness. To me, I believe that politics is all about sharing ideas. It's political dialogue at the end of the day. That if we have leaders that don't share a common ideology, how then do we meet within a specific space for us to be able to propel our economy, regardless of all these situations and all these rather engagements that have occurred? Me, I think the president coming out strong to talk about reconciliation could have also been from the meeting.
Did he come out strongly?
That letter that I had time to read through, and also for the meeting that he had with a section of opposition leaders, because I saw Latif Sebagala, Sibambi there, and so on. The engagement possibly in that meeting could have led the president to begin speaking about reconciliation. And if you want a country to grow, you have to be very considerate and also tolerant at the same time. And that's why you see that there are countries that have had
but you see,
very strong friction.
Levy,
yes.
Comrade Levy, this comes, if it is true, President Museveni is out for reconciliation. It is coming after 40 years power.
I remember, like I'll go back my neighbor, because I want to use
because we had
I want to use a clear example.
We had times when we spoke and organized a national dialogue, but all the efforts collapsed.
Still back to...
You should remember that.
Yeah, still back to leadership as being a point of service rather than self-entitlement. If after 40 years, he has come on a reconciliatory kind of agenda, what is the main basis and the agenda of the reconciliation? Reconciliation comes as a very big, kind of structure, in that we are looking at releasing political prisoners. We are looking at cutting off embargo, or rather cutting off restrictions from even their principal, that is Bobi Wine. I'm just speaking on an objective view. That if you are to follow the patterns of our neighbors, and to use our neighbors as a very good example, Arap Moi had his weaknesses. Lots of governance there, corruption scandals and so on, but he came later and reconciled with his former friends.
So are you saying
President
Museveni has reached that level where Arap Moi, President Daniel Arap Moi, also said, enough is enough, I must reconcile this country
I believe in,
before I leave?
I believe in a cause of possibly having your own thoughts reflecting on you after a long stay in power. That is very bad. Because you see, if you fail to reconcile, you are leaving patches that will not be sealed. Rather, my brothers, Honorable Paul Mwiru, and his group or the followers will never have that space ever in case anything went to their hands to even say that, but you never even labored to have an objective of reconciling with us. So we have seen scenarios where there have been different parallel leaders, but then they join hands and work together. So look at the scenario of the late Raila Odinga. Even when he was at loggerheads with most of these heads of state, Uhuru Kenyatta, Mwai Kibaki, William Ruto, he still labored to say that, you see, Uganda is bigger than us. And we might not be there tomorrow, but the country, Uganda, will remain running. Your own children, my own children, will be the leaders tomorrow. Let's look at the point of considering our country first. So, without going any further, I believe reconciliation comes with its own consequences. But then, are all parties ready for that reconciliation? If one has initiated, give it time. Look at the others.
No, in your opinion?
In my opinion.
Are other parties ready?
The other parties seemingly don't seem to be ready for reconciliation. Because I also remember, was it 2011 or something, there was another incident where the president tried to create another platform for reconciliation. And our veteran politician, who is currently incarcerated, the one who is in
Dr.
prison, Dr. Besigye, said no. If it is to have a reconciliation, agenda, it should be transparent.
What's wrong with that?
And it should be formal.
What's wrong with that?
There should be no secrecy. But we've also seen, I don't know whether this is a reconciliation about the alliances, UPC, DP, joining forces with NRM for something that's likely looking towards having a national dialogue to reason one, and then to have an ideology that spans for development of our nation, Uganda. So, back to reconciliation.
As you conclude,
let's have a uniformity. The meeting that occurred between the leaders of opposition with the president, we don't know what happened. But if it was transparent and there is no kind of secrecy, then eventually, possibly, it will span to something that we are yet to see.
All right.
But which leaders? You know, you
And they are not leaders. They were individuals. They went as individuals.
These are individuals, yes.
They went as
but
individuals.
Of course, you see,
only that one is a whip of a political party, but he went.
Yes, you see, when you go as a collective force,
basis.
When you go as a collective force of leaders, or other people that have represented.
Let me tell our viewers that we need to get your feedback. Send in your comments and observations. Use WhatsApp, use SMS. Send your comments on 0701 609906. 0701 609906. Let us know what you're thinking about these events unfolding. Opposition groups meeting the president, and immediately the president issues a missive hinting on reconciliation. Are we now going in for a full-blast national dialogue? What is happening? Do we need it? Yes, we need it. But how best can we do it is still the question. Actually, in his missive, the president urged the Ugandans to adopt principled reconciliation rather than opportunistic patching up. I don't know what he exactly meant by that, but Comrade Ugrama can start from there.
Yeah, discarded those whom we had met.
We should not.
No, first of all, I think that's where Comrade Muiro came in, and you helped to resolve that impasse. The thinking that the meeting between Musomesa, we called Simambi Musomesa as our teacher at the law school. That was his nickname. And Latif Sebagara, then Kabusu, and the group. I'm told there are those who never appeared in the picture.
That they even included NUP leaders.
There is even an allegation that Honorable Joel Senyonyi was actually supposed to move with them, that when he came and he saw Baram, he ran away. But
it's an allegation.
An allegation.
Yeah, it's an allegation.
Yeah. But to me, any attempt, an effort to work together for the good of the country is absolutely welcome.
Is this for the good of the country, what we are seeing?
I imagine so, because those who have gone for those meetings and they have come out, they have said their interest is to see, one, that there is the release of if this
NUP people,
NUP, whatever, and other young men and women who are in prison.
Yeah, but they are not only NUP people who are incarcerated.
There are others.
Dr. Besche and others.
They all should come out. Now, that's a good move. If the law can be followed and they come out, or if anything can be done without compromising the law, and we have got prisoners come out. We don't like that situation.
You support the idea?
Idea is absolutely very wonderful. They say it is for purposes of general political reconciliation, to have that harmony, and it is the political reconciliation and harmony in the country that is one of the tenets upon which a country develops. So I would have no problem with that. Now, as to whether they went in their capacities, individual capacities, at least they have been, majority of them, political leaders at relatively high levels. They are influencers, they have been academicians, some are still serious academicians. So their opinions, their views influence the thinking of other members of the society, and probably even inform policy to some extent. So to that extent, at that level, I have got absolutely no problem with
where is the problem?
To me, there would be no problem.
No problem.
What we seem to see is our brothers and sisters in mainstream opposition political parties saying, no, you could not have gone purporting to represent us. Legally speaking, and probably morally speaking, yes, they are right. And if, for instance, Honorable Yusuf Subambe had come out and said, I was representing FDC, that would be a problem. But he didn't say that, and he has appeared on many media houses since he came out. Now, having said that, I think the reason as to why we have got some misgiving when it comes to the chairman of the party NRM and the president of this country, when he writes the way he has written, and people say, does he really mean it? And I think I had the comrade
that will.
Yes, comrade will
For
say,
dialogue.
but he doesn't mean it. We may forgive Comrade Muir because, you see, politicians, not just here on the African continent, world over, majority of them have not lived up to their word.
So Muir is not true to his word?
No, Muir is to a very given extent correct.
He has a very solid opinion.
But he raised, wait a minute, comrade, he raised salient issues on the grisly incidents we witnessed during elections. He called it broad daylight. Let me paraphrase: broad daylight robbery that was in elections. Do all those, bring out that spirit of reconciliation? Do they, in any way, represent a situation where, especially people like a president, coming out for reconciliation?
Let me tell you, Comrade Apor and our esteemed viewers, if there is a reconciliation to be done, it should start in NRM.
Within?
I'm telling you.
The political party?
There is a very big rift
and division
within NRM than there is between Muiru's political party and the sitting government. The amount of intimidation, we were here debating in this studio here when we were having primaries. You saw what happened in Zimbabwe. You saw what happened in Sinjiro. This woman who was the former RDC crying, she had to call the president and the chairman of the party to reverse these mafias. This is what they did. They influenced the appointment of a new RDC to go to Sinjiro to maintain the theft that had taken place. The one said to her, we are all NRM, we shall fight until all of us die and there is no more. You saw what happened. The RPC went there when they had burnt the vehicles, motorcycle and what have you. Here in Zimbabwe, you saw what happened. People died. After dying, somebody who killed has not even been arrested, he has not been investigated, and yet he is known, and a participant tells another that we have already dismissed you from NRM. So that atmosphere,
does it warrant reconciliation?
Yes, it does. When you have got such a highly polarized atmosphere, and they carried and remember, of course, NRM, with all due respect, of course, opposition members of other political parties may have their views, but truth be told, that whatever you want to say about NRM, even if it was the Almighty God who was the returning officer at Robowa, is it Robowa Gardens? I can assure you, he would have announced Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, even if he wanted to give him 61. He would still win. And they know that for
he was bound to win.
Yes, without whatever
why
happened.
Why do you organize an election and then say, even if we wouldn't do this, we would have won? Why don't you let the process go on and then...
I'm not in any way, by the way. You see, this is my background, and probably, Comrade Apollo, you know this. I feel a lot of pain when there are alleged and real misconduct on the part of Electoral Commission, a body which I worked for a full 14 years, and having taken my advanced studies in elections management, I wouldn't want to hear something like that, because we were there and we did our part, and we did it.
So you feel disappointed?
I feel, however slight the misconduct may have been on the part of the Electoral Commission, I feel very disappointed. But I wanted to say that even in circumstances of because listening to Mwiru here, I take it that Electoral Commission did its job, and somehow another component of government, he calls it the army, intervened and they did what they did. Because if, for instance, the RPC or the DPC or the commander something, or, were in between arresting DR forms, they would not be between the transmission from the polling station to the district returning officer before the final transmission probably to Ruboa head offices. There was something that happened in there. Then you can see that there was, of course, when you allow yourself now, the Electoral Commission would not easily run away from that because they should have done a better job.
Comrade Grama, you indeed agree that this country needs a healing. We need reconciliation.
That's why
I'm asking you. Wait a minute. I'm asking you. Are we ready for reconciliation? Are the actors ready or actually willing to reconcile? In
majority of the cases, it is very difficult, and members will agree with me to have what we call 100% consensus. Some of these things, by the way, you can go for reconciliation when not every member participating in the reconciliation is actually ready. And you realize when you are there that you have actually scored and achieved quite a lot than you had anticipated.
I'm asking you again, Comrade Grama. Are these events playing out, taking us to that level of reconciling and dialogue?
We need, if Uganda needed reconciliation, there is no better time than now.
Good. But are these things we are seeing taking us to reconciliation and dialogue?
They will.
Meeting the president as political individual in their individual capacity, meeting the president and the president issuing this missive.
Let me just make a simple statement. What I saw Brother Muye wanted to come in, that reconciliation is in different forms and sizes, including even co-option. That at one time, if strong members of the opposition party either come as a political party, they reconcile with the ruling party, and they run a government.
And they are rewarded with ministerial positions.
Or individuals.
Is that reconciliation?
Yes, it is. Although
I don't want them to answer my question.
No, he had an issue.
I have a question for you.
Let him raise it.
My brother Rugarabu, you agree with me that the law says the commission must transmit the results and copy us in?
Yes.
That's the law.
Yes.
It says when they announce it, they must print out a tally together with the declaration of results form. Now that even that stage has passed, why don't they comply? You understand? Because that would give credence to what we were saying.
To the process.
That even when we gave them, if they give us, we have the data forms. We shall go to the tariffs. Then by the time you make that assertion, we shall know that actually true. We lost the majority of the data forms we have. But they have to give.
Actually, let me answer
I'm sorry, let me read these comments because we're running out of time. Let me first read these comments.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Polo. I am Kisaran from Chengera. I want for Doctor for the good information. To thank Doctor for the good information. The problem we have is corruption, and the same police officials are crime prevents. We have information on the ground, but where to report, we fear to be exposed. Anyway, I think the message is in a way fragmented, but we can pick. Alan Muksa, thank you so much. He says even the system on the ground is not clear where people can report in case they have information about a crime. Mr. Polo, drug abuse and guys who sell cocaine close to police, that's the biggest problem. He raises the issue of drug abuse within the youth, possibly fueling the crime. Good morning, everyone in the show. Thanks for the good program. Principal, I like the way you bring the issues. Okay, thank you. I think it is better late than never. It is better the talks are held so long as it is fruitful. The past will take us backward. Josephine at Namuongo. Thanks for watching. Josephine, Somebody sent voice notes. We cannot play voice notes on TV. Please write text messages. Only that we have 10 minutes to close the show. If you can do that very fast. Magalez Mujisha says, thank you so much. I like the way Honorable Mwiru is articulating issues we are watching here in Mbarara City. Okay. Thank you, Mujisha. Okay, let's conclude because we are running
going to investigate the tally sheet and then we look at it.
Yeah.
So we conclude that
we will conclude with those messages that will be coming in.
So I answer.
If you can in a few minutes, because we have
in a microsecond, not a few minutes. One, I would like to answer Mwiru's.
You worked with the Electoral Commission for many years.
For 14 years. As to whether I will get that tally sheet or not. Maybe I can convey the message to Justice Byabakama. I think he will get it for us. But I wanted to.
He's aware. I remember the same question was put to him after the elections, and he totally avoided that question.
No, he will give it. He cannot avoid it. I just wanted to say that I read the Justice Search's comments, and there were about 9 points.
She's in exile,
which she wanted
self-imposed exile.
Her fellow Court of Appeal judge to answer. I agree with her, and I would want that the Electoral Commission answers those questions.
Okay.
I hope that answers all.
Those should be. Honorable Mwiru, as we conclude, do you agree that this country needs dialogue and reconciliation?
Dialogue, yes.
Structured. How best can we do it? If you can make a recommendation.
And the structured dialogue we're talking about, it's not true that they are only political parties, we are the only players. There are many players, the religious leaders, because the opposition to know that if we are becoming unreasonable, they would provide the check. But you see, President Museveni one time said, no, we cannot negotiate ourselves out of power. That's why he keeps on saying, I'm dialoguing with individuals in FDC, individuals in DP, individuals in political parties. To him, he knows.
You've heard what Comrade Levy said. That a point in life comes. A point in life comes. He made a case of
he's dealing with vulnerable people who are looking forward to eat.
Who perhaps felt vulnerable, and he was in for.
He's dealing with vulnerable people who are looking forward to eat. What we talk about as structured dialogue. Then we can have a national dialogue, properly structured, with guarantors. Because whether he likes it or not, and let me say the last word. I was told by the late Honorable Alex Waibal, who was the Speaker of, by then, that during the UPC times, Honorable Chivendina was in UPC, and Waibal was in DP. But when they were in the parliament, as leaders as of then, because they were measured, all of them, when government changed and they were looking for UPC people by then, Chivendina ran to Waibale's home for safety.
Chivendina was UPC.
It was UPC. What does this mean? That there is the guided people power and unguided people power. The guided people power, I would push to say that is Rugarama.
Hey.
That is real. And by all standards, if I have the means, I have secured them. You understand? But unguided people power there, who will see someone who stole the election and even refused to give the result. You understand? They will show themselves from there. That's the danger. That's why we need to engage and agree on bare minimums. Because
there is a feeling.
Like what President is doing. Femi knows that he wants to use this as cool off. He gives some people some of the jobs. Then next time, so he stays with the military, uses it the way it's supposed to be as a coercive arm of the state. He cheats another election. Then he says, please, come for reconciliation again.
So you believe President Museveni is not willing, lacks that will to reconcile this country. And again,
it's not about him. It's not about us. It's about the country. If that's what it is, then we should have structured and well guaranteed engagements, and then say we have made a mistake. No, we have also made mistakes on our part.
Actually, a section in NRM, a section of people think that you, the leaders of opposition, also do not have the will to dialogue.
No, we have. That's why actually From our president to all leaders, we have said there's a need for dialogue because there's more we can achieve. It must be meaningful dialogue, well structured with the guarantors of what we're going to dialogue on. It shouldn't be a photo opportunity. Because when President Museveni has realized that his efforts in futility, that's what he's saying. But it seems maybe I'm dealing with the wrong people. Because the whole public has pointed out that you are dealing with job seekers. These guys are looking for survival.
Okay.
That's why he says that he also realizes.
For his 8.5 million people who didn't
Mwine says, thank you so much for the program. We hope the dialogue can also touch matters of the historical injustices across the country, not only individuals or individual party leaders. Okay, I think he has a point there. There are historical injustices that is why national dialogue must be holistic in nature. And as we conclude your parting remarks, Levi, on this issue of dialogue?
I think, the country has reached a point where we now need to unite and become one force.
Are we willing to unite?
At this point, we should. We should, because you see...
Are we willing?
The opposition might not be willing now. But if there's one party that has showed interest in reconciliation, and then Honorable Paul has said that it should be structured, let's look towards that.
Yeah.
But then, like my brother, comrade, doctor stated that the reconciliation should not only be from the political parties. We have religious leaders. We have also within the NRM, internal party politics. NUP also have their own internal conflicts.
Internal.
So for us as NRM,
you actually need,
as NRM,
you need dialogue more than anyone.
Yes, as NRM, the resolution was that if you don't make it in party primaries, you show face and support the flag bearer. But we had scenarios where we have independents that easily came and sailed through against the flag bearers. And the party was two-way. So it also comes that we start reconciliation from within the party, and then we take it in a structured format in a transparent way.
Thank you so much, Comrade Levy, and your parting shot.
Mine is very simple. I would take it that if indeed the ruling party has not provided enough political space for the opposition parties to thrive, the opposition should not give up. We have our history on the continent littered with effective examples of the never die spirit in Zambia, in South Africa, in Malawi, even recently, not long ago in Botswana, where the persistence of the opposition has brought them to government. I therefore encourage the opposition parties not to say because the ruling government has not provided sufficient oxygen for them to be able to come and sweep the NRM off the stage, then they resign. They should keep up the spirit. Time and only time.
Okay, time and only time. In your concluding, just 1 minute. This seems the race for speakership is heating up. Honorable Pastor Muganza also is also, throwing in her bid. What do you make of this? What is happening? And looks like the NRM...
Actually, they should have their effort on that reconciliation because as the elections were going on for other special interest groups, we saw the endorsement. Now I'm seeing people coming up after the Central Executive Committee endorsed in court candidates. I think the president should put most of their effort there to see that he reconciles his party as Nduguru Garama is saying.
Actually, that is a symptom of non-reconciliation.
Yes, because if the Central Executive Committee took a decision and we are seeing members of the Senate
members are coming up now.
And actually,
people are even asking questions whether this decision was ever taken.
Levy can file a petition, a constitutional petition, to ask whether those acts of endorsing members while the election of other special interest group members of parliament, NRM, was ongoing, whether it does not infringe
exactly
any
on the rights,
constitutional provision and the NRM constitution, because that would mean that they had locked out now other
potential contenders.
Because now, like those who were elected after the second decision, that's where the reconciliation should be focused, which is by an individual. But the one for
so
the
NRM needs reconciliation more than anyone else.
More than we need without.
Just one word, because we are out of time.
You see, issues of the race for speakership is very dynamic and a little bit complex. Like Honorable Paul has said, you can't specifically come out to endorse people because you see, Parliament is an arm of government. There are 3 arms of government, and the Parliament should be an independent kind of institution. So it also has to rhyme with a very experienced speaker that unites people. You don't cause fear. You don't bring terror.
You don't believe in the current speaker?
No, it's not that I'm supporting or I don't want to specifically endorse someone. But I'm just trying to say that Parliament as an institution should be led to handle those kind of internal politics.
Let me also even if you also need to correct that narrative. The position is vacant. The speakership of the 12th Parliament.
Yeah, it is up for grabs.
But the way you misconstrue it is like if one wants to vote for that position, you are going against the other one.
No, they had a policy. They had a policy of two terms. So that's the premise where I.
But I think the president will come finally with a resolution to have that cleared. But right now the tension is on everyone. Is it Honorable Norbert Mao has declared they have Namuganza, we have the
Norbert Mao says he's still consulting.
He's still consulting.
Yes.
So we have also
Norbert Mao knows that he has no chance.
You never know. By the way,
if he doesn't have the blessing of NRM, because they have the numbers in Parliament, and he lacks those numbers in
you
Parliament.
never know.
I'm also studying.
And you never know. You see, that's what I wanted.
If you have 5 NRM candidates, we may also think of fielding one candidate.
That is what I wanted to say.
And you think you can exploit that?
Yes.
We might be here,
those divisions.
But we have Honorable Paul Mwiru also consulting that is it possible?
Is it viable?
Thank you so much, our viewers. I must thank the panel. Thank you so much, Honorable Mwiru, for making time, and your insights have been informative and important. Comrade Levy, thank you so much for your time. Comrade Rugarama, thank you so much for your time. We will come again next time and discuss much more about these and other issues, because they are still developing. These issues are still developing. My name is Mr. Polo. Thank you so much to the production team, to the viewers. Until next Saturday,